So next up, I am expecting to hear from Mr. Panyika, who is a campaigner with ROHR. Is that, are you here, Panyika?
Yes, I'm here.
Great.
Yeah, thank you for having me and for the opportunity to speak. Obviously, the accounts that we have had so far are quite touching, and I identify with them, not necessarily through personal experience, but through working with people in those situations for many years. It's very touching, and it destroys lives, and the whole hostile environment is meant to do exactly that. And that is why we should be fighting, and we should continue to fight. And I would like to thank everybody that always gets involved in the fight, because without coming together to fight, this system will continue. I am an human rights activist with the Restoration of Human Rights Zimbabwe. I've also worked in the past and continue to work with Right to Remain. In the past, at some point, I was part of their management committee. Right now, I'm a member, and I continue to participate in their work. The reason being that their work is very, very, very important, and they have a lot of useful information that can help people within this asylum system. A good example is their toolkit. With ROHR Zimbabwe, obviously our focus is on human rights, and I would like to say asylum is a human right. I need to remind ourselves that asylum is a human right, and that's why I find myself fighting for the rights of asylum seekers, like some of us here. It is a human right according to the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 14. So when we are fighting for people seeking asylum, we are fighting for a human right. Having said that, you find countries like this country, England, it's a United Kingdom. It tries very much to criminalize something that is a human right, which is asylum and immigration, something that is a fact of life. The world as it is today was shaped by immigration, migration, people moving from one country to another. You talk of continents, you talk of America, what we call the United States of America and Canada, for example. It is basically the people who are governing those countries are immigrants. You talk of Australia, the same story. I could go on and on. And this is the fact of life, and this is asylum and the movement of people. It's a fact of life which should be accepted, but the government in this country tends to criminalize that by creating a hostile environment, which leads to tragedies like what was witnessed yesterday. The drowning of, it's now said to be 27 people. Initially, it was being to be 31 people, but all the same, even one person is one person too many to die because of an environment that is deliberately created by human beings who claim to be humane and who claim to be democratic. So for those reasons alone, we have a very good reason to keep fighting this system. And I'm very happy to have had accounts from people like Moses, for example, and his family. There are people I also interacted with whilst Moses was in detention. I actually was talking to Moses from time to time. I was also talking to Daisy from time to time. I don't know that they remember that, but yes. And when Moses came out, I was so happy. Before he came out, I was so happy to see his wife and children in London. We were demonstrating at the embassy, Zimbabwe embassy. When he came out, Moses, I was so happy to see him at many demonstrations, including recently in Glasgow at the COP26. So what I would say to those people who witness, who go through this experience, when you come out, please join the fight. Don't sit back. And Moses is a good example. At ROHR Zimbabwe, some of the things that we do is we give moral support to people who are in detention. We link them with their solicitors. We assist with assembling information like Michael was saying, if you are detained, sometimes you just have no way of putting things together. So you might find yourself being deported simply because you haven't been able to put information together. So we assist with that kind of thing. We also assist by updating those in detention about the situation outside, both in the United Kingdom and in Zimbabwe. We also help with practical things like, for example, topping up their mobile lines so that they can continue communicating with the outside world. We also act as guarantors sometimes in situations where there are cases of bail applications. We act as guarantors sometimes. And for those who would have been deported, who find themselves in the unfortunate situation where they have been deported, we have a presence in Zimbabwe, in Harare and in Bulawayo. So we can assist by signposting them to specialist service providers who offer free services. For example, lawyer organizations, doctors organizations, and other service providers. And for those still reporting, we also offer signing support, and sometimes we can delegate any one of our members to accompany those who are going to report. So there are so many things that we do as Restoration of Human Rights Zimbabwe. I'm very happy that of late, especially since the start of this Walls Must Fall campaign, we are beginning to find ourselves, various groups working together. We are working together more, and I think this should continue. The fight must continue, but and always united we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's powerful. Sharing with us, Mr. Panyika. Thank you.